Nomoi, it is Joinen, and I have found perhaps the most extreme example of a womanizer guru on YouTube. This man has many opinions about women, and so I figured the only way to make this situation even better is to introduce even more men's opinions. And so, back by popular demand, we have my old editor, Seti! Pull up a chair and let's talk about men talking about women.
Oh, I cannot wait. I love men's opinions about women.
We need more of them. The first one I wanted to pull up is this guy's opinion about how to run the perfect date, because I think that it paints the perfect picture of who it is that we're dealing with. And then I want to get into this video that he has titled The Female Manipulation Matrix. And it is like next level. There's graphs, there's a whiteboard. It's a lot. I think he gets into just women in general in that video. But let's keep it lighthearted first and let's figure out how to run the perfect date.
I'm ready to take notes.
As he would put it, how a masculine men run a perfect first date that women fantasize over. Hypergamy secrets to love.
I cannot wait.
Nothing's sexier than hypergamy.
Okay, today I'm going to show you how to run the perfect first date. Now, the reason why this is important for me to deliver to you is because nobody has failed on first dates more than me. I've had to do this from the ground up.
And I believe that.
I really want you to internalize these truths and listen to me on this one, is because not only have we put now 525 guys together in this movement, but I'm getting guys saying things like this. The other day, one of the guys goes, I've had more success in the past 2 weeks than I've had in the last 2 years. So because I've done first dates hundreds of times, I've had to work.
Okay, I don't think that's a flex. This guy's coming out here being like, pay me to give you advice from the guy who has failed on hundreds of dates.
Yeah. I feel like going on lots of dates is not a flex. Going on one and sealing the deal, that's more of a flex than be like, I've been on thousands and I have stuffed up every single time.
Yeah.
So take my advice.
Well, I guess he's got examples of failure, you know?
So is he going to tell us what not to do?
Maybe.
All right.
Hopefully.
I'm going to show you the exact steps that a guy has to take in order to make sure that she likes you, she's laughing the whole time, and she wants to keep seeing you. This is very important, and this took me 10 years to discover. When I tell you that
I feel like that's a long time.
Single day into this for the past 10 years, literally 10 years from ages 18 to 28, improving my dating life, figuring out how to navigate female nature and the language of women. This is why I'm able to put things into such a step-by-step process for you.
If I had to offer counter advice, and as a man who has been in a relationship for over a decade, maybe just don't overthink it. I think maybe he's putting too much thought into it.
I feel like you don't need a run sheet, a note sheet.
I also think that it's a bit patronizing to work it down to a science as if women are something that can be solved.
I feel like the way he's approaching it as if it's not another human we're about to go on a date with.
It's like top 10 steps to improve your bowling swing.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to take me a little bit of time to dissect, but I'm going to write down all of the things that I do.
Good things take time.
Even notice that I do consciously and subconsciously on these dates to help myself get the best chances of success. So first off, step one, okay? And
my question is, what is success? Because clearly he doesn't have much success. If we're talking maintaining a long-term relationship, he can't have had much.
No, I would say that's the success of the date, is getting the relationship, right? That's what you go on dates for.
Well, yeah.
I'm actually drawing from conclusions of past dates that I had. So the date that I'm referring to is probably from a couple weeks ago. Specifically, there was a lot of different attraction mechanisms I was using and working in my favor to make this work. So the first thing that I would recommend, do not try to plan dates. Don't try to plan
So why are we here?
The first rule is throw all the rules out.
I thought he was going to give us a plan. And he's like, no plan.
Boyfriends plan things. Guys who are already attracting women and already have dating options say, let's go do this now. Hey, let's go to this restaurant right now. Hey, let's go to this coffee shop now. Sushi, ? Now, ? Send. That's how guys who actually have options talk and text message. So that's step one. Do not plan anything. So the other day when I was on a date, I text her that morning And I said, brunch right now, question mark. And she goes like, right now? And I go, yeah, right now. Send. And then I picked the location and we met up. So step 1, do not plan anything. Planning stuff looks like you don't necessarily have high status or things going on. It looks like you are really trying to set this up to make sure that she likes you. So don't do that. So
You don't want that.
You don't want her to like you, no.
what is the mindset you have the entire time on the first date or on a date in general? The mindset that you have on these dates is you are demonstrating value the whole time. You are coming right out of the gate, demonstrating as many attraction mechanisms and masculinity characteristics as possible. Everything that you have working for you in your favor, make sure you put it in your favor.
To show off your nunchuck skills.
Okay, you want to obviously demonstrate looks, potential money or resources, potential status. You want to make sure you look good, you pick the right clothes. You are demonstrating as much survival value as humanly possible.
Survival value. I can drink my own pee.
Now, step 3. Let me give you an example of what to do. Preliminary step in case this happens. So some of you're going to set a date and they're going to put you on a wait list. So I'll give you an example of what I did because this is exactly what happened to me. So I was like, okay, here's what we can do. I was like, we'll walk downtown a little bit through some of these shops because there's different men's clothing stores.
Sure, we can buy me clothes.
Yeah. 'Cause a woman loves nothing more than men's shopping on a first date.
We haven't even had a conversation yet. I don't even know you, but we're going to go shopping for me, if that's all right.
Got some time to kill.
So active masculinity. Now we're walking and talking to.
So masculine.
You're not stagnant, just sitting there passively. Now you're walking. Okay, but here's where you need to be saving disposable income. I'm going to tell you this.
To buy yourself clothes on a date.
A woman feels safe when she's with you is showing potential resources or resource potential. And it doesn't have to be anything super expensive, right? You just have to show abundance. If I buy 5 chocolate bars, I show a woman that I want to try every flavor. What she sees is 5 chocolate bars. It's only $10, but she sees 5 of them.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
If I say, I want all of them to sample, she sees abundance. She sees a guy who's not in scarcity. You only had to spend $10, and it's moving mountains for you because it comes from a point of options. It's
Wild. That is a wild first step. Buy 5 chocolate bars.
First things first, you got to walk to show off your masculinity.
Yeah.
And then 5 chocolate bars.
Sitting down, so feminine.
Walking to buy 5 chocolate bars, masculine.
You haven't spoken to this girl yet. Like, it's your first date, and you're like, hold on, gotta go down to 7-Eleven. I've been wanting to try these chocolate bars.
5 different flavors. It's going to ruin your dinner, your lunch that you have to wait 25 minutes for because you didn't plan.
Well, you got abundance. You got abundance of money, and you have an abundance of stomach. You can fit 5 chocolate bars and still have room for dinner, and that's pretty manly.
I wanted to find some clothes that I liked. So when I went through all of these shops, there was a pair of pajama pants, and they had cactuses on them. So I bought a pair. So now I'm
Manly.
Naturally.
buying a pair of pants. It's resources. Okay, it shows like I'm willing to spend money on myself. Women like to see that. And the whole tone of voice the whole time was like, oh, feel how soft these are, right? These are so soft. And she's giggling at them because I'm a grown man wearing pajamas that have cactuses on them. She thinks it's hilarious.
This is not the direction I thought we were going to go. It seems like he's trying to come across like he's a 10-year-old boy. He's like, you guys want to come on a date? I'm going to buy 5 chocolate bars and I'm going to try them all, and then I'm going to get some cactus pajamas. I thought we were going to get like full, like, lift something strong.
Yeah, it's taken a different direction than what I thought it was going to do.
She's feeling the pants. You want to get out of the location and
Buy cactus pajamas.
go get out of that scene or that situation and go walk.
Buy chocolate bars.
Way better. Okay. Now, step number 3.
Oh, that was a sub-step.
You get served. I don't care if it's coffee. If it's coffee, you say, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I need this caffeine. I need this caffeine. And she laughs because she just thinks it's funny.
You sit down and you say, oh my God, I'm so hungry.
It's hilarious.
Can't wait to eat. Oh my God, I'm going to eat all of the food in here. Whatever you want to say is fine. What I'm getting at is this. They want to watch a guy eat and they laugh at quantity. They laugh at quantity and volume of food. I have tested this. If I skip lunch and I have dinner plans with a girl and I order 2 double-sized bacon cheeseburgers and let's say an appetizer and she watches me eat all of it and all of the fries,
Really impressive.
the whole time that I'm able to eat 2 meals. They giggle, they laugh. It's instant, like almost dad energy because sometimes dad likes to just sit down and eat. You lean into that because it's funny and it's masculine. Now, step number 4.
You just have to eat a lot of food. To be a man, 2 meals, eat it all, and say that you're really hungry and you're going to eat all the food in here.
And that's after 5 chocolate bars too,
Yeah.
mind you.
He's not going to fit into his cactus pajamas after all this food.
Step 4, abundance and options. So I was like, I like to have options of food. I go, here's what we're going to do. And notice I'm leading this. We are going to just order a bunch of shit. I'll tell her. We're going to order a bunch of stuff. Maybe we'll scoot a little closer to her. So let's say it's like a breakfast place or a brunch spot. Oh, we're going to get this omelet and then we're going to get these cheesecake pancakes. Oh my God, look at this French toast. We got to try this French toast too. Oh my gosh, they have these waffles. Oh, they're banana waffles. Oh my gosh, we got to get banana waffles.
I tell you what, I'm hungry. It's making me hungry.
Let's go out on a date, you and me, and what we're going to do.
We're going to eat the board.
Everything.
I will pick 4 or 5 meals and maybe just take the rest home or just let it go, because I'll show you this in a second. This comes down to abundance, this comes down to resources, and this comes down to options. Because I'm willing to spend a whopping $30 extra on a couple more meals, which isn't that much. Keep that in mind. It's not like you have to break the bank here. You have to just show you're willing to spend a little bit of money, because now she sees abundance of calories. She sees a guy who likes food. Naturally, she's going to like food because everybody likes food.
She sees you're not.
She sees a man who's coming from a place of abundance, which is going to help her trust your judgment, because you're checking a lot of boxes that tend to help a woman analyze your survival value.
It's not like they're the worst tips on planet Earth. I think the problem is that it's like there's something so strange about it if you're like following steps and it's like this formula where you are ticking boxes. Like, all right, next thing we're going to do is I'm going to order everything on the menu. What about the roadblocks? What if she's like, I'm not that hungry, I just want this. And it's
Start freaking out. Yeah, because he hasn't said anything bad or controversial, but it's just such weird dating steps to success that it doesn't seem like it's going to add to the date, whether or not you get 14 pancakes.
Yeah, I'd argue none of this is actually that important. It's probably more...
Just sounds hungry.
It's like, you're just going to seem hungry, man. You're just going to eat a lot. I think genuine tips would be like, maybe like the types of conversations you should have. Things that are good to talk about on a first date. At the moment, none of that is important. You just need to like order a bunch of stuff on the menu. You need to buy stuff for yourself and seem like you like to overeat.
Well, it's the fact that you're just buying excessive amounts of food, chocolate bars, and you've bought everything for yourself. You haven't even asked what she wants.
Yeah.
Is it to just show that you only care about yourself?
Well, that's what he's saying. You got to show off your value. One track mind, my value. Here's what I have to offer. Here's what I am like. I still think the best advice is to just like ask questions. Ask them about themselves.
People love talking about themselves.
But that's not date advice. I just feel like that's just like conversational advice. You seem more likable if you're asking them questions. So far, we have not really engaged with her at all.
No, because she doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the food.
Number 4, you're going to order a bunch of food to
Still more food.
Now, step 5, this is important. We order all of it for both of you. Okay, so you get to order for her and yourself, meaning you lead all of it. You lead the whole interaction. So this is one thing that I struggled with really hard when I would see other content creators over the years talk about this. There's other content creators I've seen and they go, when you're on a first date, just order for the woman that you're with and even pick out the meal for her. And I thought that was complete bullshit, because I'm like, okay, number one, what if she doesn't like the food and she just feels as if she has to go along with this just cause? I thought number 2, it seems really try hard, like you need to almost micromanage and control every little detail.
And
Right.
3,
I just thought that it seemed really like fake almost. That
You don't need to explain it. We're really spending time on this point. You don't need to explain why it's a bad idea.
She's allowed to order for herself.
Yeah, she can just choose what she wants to eat.
So how do I get around that? How do I make sure I'm still leading? How do I make sure I'm still ordering for the both of us? So that way she almost just gets to sit back and enjoy the show, enjoy the date without thinking too much. I want to make it feel like we're a couple. So we're looking at one menu together. I'm like, oh, we're going to get the French toast and we're going to get the pancakes.
Okay. Look, we're both taken men.
Yes.
Gone out to eat with our significant others many times. I feel like the way a couple orders is it is a discussion. You talk about it. What should we get?
Like you're allowed to share the food, but it's just like, what do you feel like you want?
Maybe if they say, oh, I don't mind, then you can be like, oh, well, should we get this and this? You know,
It's still an offer.
It's a discussion.
It's not like we're getting this and this, and that's all.
Oh, look at these cheesy hash browns. I think we should get these cheesy hash browns.
We're still ordering food.
Yeah, I'll try those too. There's
We're
some
halfway
things
into this video and it's
on the menu that she's
all
like,
been
"I
about
wanna
food."
try."
So now it's not try hard. Now it's not like you're trying to micromanage the situation.
It kind of is, though.
$35.
It, like, I guess what he's saying is that it comes across a little bit less controlling, but it still is.
Yeah, it's how to be controlling without looking like you're controlling.
To seem slightly less controlling, here's a way around it. I feel like the advice here would just be, well, what about if we just don't seem controlling?
You can still buy her all the food. Just discuss it.
I also think that he can say that, well, you know, oh, my hundreds of dates I've been on, this is what works and this is what doesn't. But again, we're formularizing it as if women are all just one creature.
They love to see men eat.
And we can't deny that he might have been on a date where this worked and she was into that. But I think the point is that everyone is an individual, and so giving them such specific advice is just strange because it's not going to work with everyone.
Like, it could work, and I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's talking about, but it just seems like we're just ordering so much food. So we've had like 5 steps. 4 of them have been order food. And it's like step number 6, we're going to order more food. And we're going to get more men.
Abundance of men.
We have more men.
Introducing my other old editor, Matt.
There's been 5 steps. Step number 1, don't plan anything. Step
Which
number 2...
feels like a strange step in a plan.
Yeah. Step number 2, 3, 4, and 5 is the plan.
Okay.
The plan is to order as much food as you possibly can and eat it all, and she will love it.
It's all about ordering heaps of food.
Does he have a fetish?
Well, it's better to spend just a little bit extra to go above and beyond to show that you actually care and give a shit about the girl instead of acting like, you know, you don't care about her. Like, it's better to just overinvest in the...
So, context, he's doubling down on this idea of like, don't just order her meal for it. Don't just pick her meal. And we're like, yeah, you spent a long time explaining why you shouldn't do that, which I feel like does not need much explanation.
No.
But then he's saying, so what you do is you just order a bunch of things from the menu and still don't let her choose. That's the better way of doing it.
But you'll be happy because there's options.
Is this guy just scared to eat alone at a restaurant?
I'm just so confused at why not just let her choose what she wants to eat.
Because men know best.
So then when the server comes back, I'm like, I'll order for both of us. We're just going to share a bunch of food. So we're going to get this and this and this and this and this. The server's writing all this down, smiling and laughing. And a lot of times the girl will be smiling and laughing too because it's just so much quantity of food.
A lot of times the girl will even take
Picture of all the food and show her friends because she thinks it's awesome that a guy's investing in her that way. So that's number 5, okay? Remove the ego control of thinking you need to order the meal for her and then it's so rigid. No, order the meal for both of you, but make it multiple options so it feels natural. Because if you pick a meal that she doesn't like, it might come off kind of weird that you didn't just let things happen the way it should when you're ordering. Okay, so that's number 5. Now, number 6, this is important too.
I actually
More food.
discovered this
Lots of
but I
dessert.
realized that it was actually good.
So towards the end of one of my dates, I had to go to the bathroom once. But see, I didn't want to make it so that way the girl would have to pay. But I really had to go to the bathroom, so I didn't know what to do. So I was like, I just pulled out my credit card and I gave it to the girl. And I'm like, if our server comes, make sure that you take care of this. Well, what did this do? This one happened by accident. I was like, oh my gosh. So when I came back, I noticed she was really happy about that because it signaled trust. It almost made her feel like we are a couple. I'm transitioning my resources of my credit card to her.
So what I've said so far is that it's like, it's not like anything is actually a red flag. He's not giving horrible tips. They're just very specific. And they feel like strange things to like outline as then do this and then do this and then do this. When it's like every date is going to be individual and maybe the tips should be more about vibing out how it should go.
I think he just went to a share place and had a good date.
Yeah.
He's
I
extrapolating.
think you're right. I think he just went on a good date and it went well. And then he's like, listen, here's the steps. I've figured it out. He started off by saying he's been on hundreds of dates. And that's why we should take his advice. So hundreds of dates, all failures. This one, finally, man.
Yeah.
This one slapped.
He did his market research.
Here's what you gotta do.
The cactus pants.
Oh yeah, he bought cactus pajamas for himself at the start.
Because he didn't...
For fun?
Well, because he had 25 minutes before they could get their table at the restaurant. Because he didn't...
On the date.
Yeah,
okay.
So he didn't book it. So
He bought himself some pajamas.
So he went men's shopping with her because walking is masculine.
He also bought five chocolate bars.
Well, you gotta buy lots of food.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
Before we started ordering more food.
Yeah.
Even though I'm going to the bathroom, I'm still competent enough to think about the future, to not put you in a state where you're going to now have to pay for us and make me look bad.
So it shows competency.
And that's
it shows
what's important.
It shows
Your
that
brain is properly thinking about these things.
He hasn't said anything about having a conversation with her. He said when you were walking, like, before your sit-down date, you get to walk for a little bit, and then you get to know her at that point. But other than that, everything has been about what he does, how he orders food, what he needs to do next, and none of it has been, what do you talk about? Like, do you ask her about herself, or... Nothing.
You just gotta keep saying you're very hungry.
It's all about, like, just showcasing your value and your abundance.
By just being hungry.
Hungry boy.
And she likes that.
so this totally made her smile.
Now I would do this a lot, or if I have to go to the bathroom, I'm going to just give her my card, because it looks like what you're actually signaling is you're signaling a lot of competency there.
You're basically saying
You can
hey,
take
I
yourself to
understand
the bathroom,
as a
man.
It's my
Yeah.
job to
I'm just going to take care of it. That's what you're doing, is you're signaling competency. Now, number 7.
Am I
you
wrong
leave-
in saying that if you order $700 worth of
Yeah,
food, maybe you should be the one
pay.
paying?
Yeah.
She would be fretting at this point. It's like, are we splitting this bill?
That's a very good point.
I can't afford this.
No conversation either.
Yeah, he did
No.
not ask her a single thing. He goes, we're getting this.
Her and the waiter just
She's
laughing.
loving it. And then you're going to show competence by offering to pay for it.
It's like, does he have
should be paying.
Yes. Yes, you should be paying for it because you ordered way more. Look at all this food we're wasting.
A tip on the bill, right? So when you leave gratuity, leave 30 to 50%. Yes, leave 30 to 50%. Leave a really big tip because it shows abundance and it shows status. It shows that you don't care. It shows that you're not cheap.
You know what he was just talking about in the previous step, though, was like coming across like you're trying hard. Like his first tip was very much about like,
Don't look like you're trying.
yeah, don't look like you're trying. Don't plan the date because it'll look like you've put thought into it and you're trying to like show off all that. And then he's like, 50% tip.
status.
But don't show off.
Women do not like guys who feel as if they need to hoard their money and not share. Displays of not caring or displays of resources in any way, shape, or form, right? If you go to the checkout, buy all 5 chocolate bars.
Back in the chocolate
meals
bars.
for both of you.
Whatever the case may be. I know that some of you are going to type in the comments right now and go, I don't want to do that, or I don't like that. That's fine. More options for me, I guess.
Like, you gotta.
I think the most problematic thing about his language is just the fact that women are one lump and they have some hive mind and they all think the exact same way.
Or when you also show that you're willing to give a 30 to 50% tip, she's going to sit there and go, wow, he's generous. If he's willing to invest in a stranger like that, he's probably willing to invest in me like that. If I were to be with him, she's sitting there going, our kids would probably be taken care of because this man is not going to hoard all of the resources for himself.
I don't know if that's how finances work.
This man's in $30,000 of credit cards.
He's been on hundreds of dates and spent $700 on every date.
Yeah.
And 5 chocolate bars each time.
Buying 5 chocolate bars, tipping 50% and everything. This reeks of a guy who is going to have money in decades' time for our kids.
Oh, yeah.
So, number 8, here's the funniest thing about this. When the date is over and you walk out, no hugs goodbye.
On the date.
There's even some times where there will be so much tension between us in a good way, like good emotional tension, where we're walking out of the restaurant and she's trying to poke fun at me and I'll play back and I'll poke fun at her. If I said things like, Yeah, you know, all the other everybody online or all of the online videos I've seen, everybody says, you know, don't trust the girl in the red dress, right?
I don't think on a date you should be bringing up all the online videos I've seen that talk about dates. Coming from the guy who said, don't seem like you planned the date. And then he's like, from all the videos I've watched online about dates.
No hugs goodbye. On the date, I am creating space physically. So all of this is going down verbally, but I'm sitting away. Maybe we'll scoot a little closer to her. So that way she can't necessarily gauge my interest level. So when you guys leave that restaurant or when you guys leave that date, no hugs goodbye. You are creating space. And what you can even do on the date is you can play around where you're laughing, you're joking, maybe you're poking fun at other people, or you guys have...
Maybe here's something fun you could try on a date. Maybe you could laugh a little bit.
You could pick on a couple of people.
Number 9 then, step 9, is I just say goodbye.
Anyway, see ya.
That's it.
No, it was great meeting you. No, I can't wait to see you again. No, oh, when are you free next? None of that. I say goodbye, great meeting you, and then I leave. Why? Because guess what happens? Then she can't necessarily gauge your interest level. She's going to say,
Well, does he
And
invest
you don't wanna
in
do
all
that.
first dates like this?
30 minutes go by and they will send you a text message that says, had so much fun on the date. Can't wait to see you again next. Or next weekend.
Because that's, you know, the nice appropriate response.
Yeah.
I feel like if you don't show interest, they just think you're not interested and they might move on.
Okay, I'm ready to move on from this video. I feel like all he has said is show that you have money and can eat a lot.
But what if you can't?
What if you just have a small stomach and you...
What if you don't have $700 to drop on one date? And what if you can only eat one meal?
Yeah.
What happens?
Well, you're just not a catch.
I guess not.
Obviously, some of it, of what he said, is kind of problematic, but I think it's probably quite tame compared to whatever the heck this is about to be. The female manipulation matrix. Look at the whiteboard, dude.
System Pepe Sylvia.
It's the official video.
You know what people say about him on Reddit? They say he's like a real-life Dennis Reynolds.
So he should be in jail.
With a video like this.
This is the Dennis system.
Yeah, this is the Dennis system. Just based on the whiteboard, this seems like it's going to be a lot more.
I like the fit.
Okay, this is my masterpiece. 4 days putting this together. When I made
4 days. Spent 4 days on this masterpiece. That's a long time.
For a whiteboard. The writing.
He's sitting there, no sleep, just Red Bulled out of his mind.
welcome to the official female manipulation matrix. This right here is the official video. You are looking at the official female manipulation matrix. This is something that has taken me 4 days to put together. This is an accumulation of over 10 years of dating experience. And this is the main difference that men don't understand, or this is the main thing that men do not understand when it comes to female nature and when it comes to attracting the right type of woman into their dating life. Men do not understand that there is a very big difference between a woman who is hot and a very big difference between a woman who is feminine. Okay, these are two different things. The more feminine the woman is, the more you are susceptible to manipulation. And this is something that most guys don't realize, or they don't recognize, or they don't have enough dating experience to even know what's going on. Okay, so let's actually dive in.
Let's get into it.
There is a difference between a woman who is hot and a woman who is feminine. This is what you have to understand. The world is full of hot women, okay, but this has nothing to do with how feminine she is. Women who know how to curate an illusion of femininity, all those things that make you gravitate towards her. Okay, maybe she seems really shy, she seems really quiet. Okay, she maybe does not post very much on social media and she seems very to herself. She seems very sweet. She seems very caring. Okay, what this does is this makes a man lower his guard. Listen to me very closely.
There's a very big difference.
Man's been hurt. Man's been hurt by someone he thought was sweet.
Yeah.
He went on a date, tried his ordering abundance of food. It didn't work. Spent 4 days on this whiteboard. Made a video.
I feel like 4 days isn't enough time.
The world is full of hot women, but this has nothing to do with how feminine she is.
Okay.
There is
Hot women are attractive and appealing.
you look at her and you go, wow,
Noted.
she's so hot. Okay?
I'm learning so much.
Feminine women will subconsciously get you to lower your guard. You are susceptible to falling in love. And these women right here are going to be the hardest to deal with because what these women are constantly doing is exercising different layers and levels of manipulation. Okay, listen to me closely. Exercising different layers of manipulation to get you, to get your mind, and to get your heart in order to weaken you. All of most men right here is running across a woman who is hot, but also feminine.
These women know how to play
Double
the most
whammy.
amount of games
And these women right here can completely ruin your life.
if you're not aware of this. So,
You'll naturally be nicer to the feminine woman as you'll feel that she's different. Oh, she's different. Oh, she's not like all the other women. Oh, no, she could do no harm. There's no way she would ever cheat.
no way that
Oh, okay. Now we understand the whiteboard.
There's layers.
It all makes sense now. I guess you can't see how it comes across because it just really just seems like bro got cheated on and now he spent 4 days drawing up a thing on a whiteboard.
Yeah, I don't know if he likes women because he keeps saying deal with them.
How do you deal with a woman?
Yeah.
What's he saying? There's two kinds of women, hot and feminine.
Well, that's all he's said in 3 minutes. He said that over and over.
Feminine women, they'll get you, man. So I guess at the moment we're leaning towards hot women, which
Well, he wants hot and feminine, doesn't he?
no, you don't.
you
No,
don't want
feminine, they'll trick you.
I haven't been taking
They
notes.
let you guard. You get your guard down.
Is potentially messaging other men in her direct messages. No. She's different. I can treat her differently. This one I can love. See, this is what you don't understand.
Let me give you a recap.
So this is a scale of 1 to 10 when it comes to how hot they are. This is
on a scale of 1 to 10
when it comes to how feminine they are. So here's what you have to understand. This zone right here, 8 to 10, this is not what you have to worry about. Okay? It's women who are in this zone of 8 to 10, and they're also a 9 or a 10 level feminine. Because right here, okay, this level of femininity, this is the highest form of manipulation. And most men don't understand this until they put that woman in the wife category, and then they start to see exactly what they're signing up for slowly. Slowly, you're going to watch the shift as the games start to go up. So this woman over here, who's just very hot.
You don't have to worry about
But she's a man. Is he just into men?
I think he wants a femboy.
He just wants to love his bros.
Yeah.
What I want is a hot man. That's what I'm learning.
His bros are just 10s.
Right? And even subconsciously, she's giving off a different image to you. Maybe she is posting a lot on social media. Maybe she is constantly taking provocative photos. You're going to look at her and naturally operate with a level of, I don't want to say distrust, but she's not going to be able to work into your heart as easy. You see what I'm saying? This is not the woman that you have to worry about because this woman is overt.
Kind of confused. Is he saying you don't want to trust a woman? You
It
are
seems that way.
like
You can trust a hot woman. You can't trust a feminine
I think
woman.
he's saying the point is you don't trust a hot woman anyway because she's just hot, and if she's not working her magic on you, then you already don't trust her, and so you're in the safe because you're not going to get hurt, man.
I'm confused.
I think we need to finish his lecture.
Knows that she's hot and she's overt about it. It's the woman who's covert. It's the woman who's feminine. It's the woman who's hot, okay, but she acts as if she doesn't know it. It's the woman who's super hot, but she's very to herself. It's a woman who's super hot, but she's shy, quiet, and she has an illusion of femininity that gets you to lower your guard. So I'm glad that we got that out of the way.
Me
the first
too.
thing that we have to.
Now let's actually go on to the official female manipulation matrix.
So
The graph.
this entire
Access, right? On the left side, you have how hot she is. And on the bottom, you have how feminine she is. Okay? So what do each of these axes mean? So how hot she is, this is your initial interest level.
He talks in circles a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why this took bro 4 days.
Yeah.
Because it's the exact same information. He's like, all right, so here's a graph down here that's up and down.
Yeah.
And now this is the same graph, but it's sideways.
There better be something on the other side of this whiteboard.
Okay? When you look at her, you say, wow, she's so hot. This is your initial interest level. Now, how feminine she is, this axis right here, this is your probability of falling in love and lowering your guard.
Don't want that.
bites it.
Half and then crushes you without you even realizing it. Okay?
It's a big smile on that one.
He's so hurt.
Death of your ego and everything that's involved with who you thought you were, okay? Feminine woman operates completely different. The feminine woman is operating based on an illusion, okay? It's very covert, it's hidden, and her nature is concealed. This is two completely different things. So, how hot she is, this is your initial interest level. How feminine she is, right? This is really, to sum this up, do you put her in the wife category or not? Big difference between the two.
So don't date someone that you would put into the wife category.
That's a no-go.
I think this is the reason he's been on hundreds of dates.
Yes.
Because he has convinced himself that you cannot actually end up in a long-term relationship with a woman.
You don't want to love.
You don't want to do that.
That's bad.
Okay, let's look at each of these categories. So I have 3 main categories, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look at the outliers.
Could you imagine actually being on a date with this guy, and then she's like, so what do you do? And he's like, oh, I run a YouTube channel. And you pull it up, and there's the female manipulation matrix with a whiteboard.
Maybe that's why he just decides to not strike conversation, because he can't tell them what he does for work because it's the female manipulation matrix.
Category number 1, okay? I call this the 5 and 5. 5 hot, 5 feminine. What can you expect in this zone? Overall, you can expect in this zone what I call a reciprocation of interest. This woman right here, if you show her interest and intent, and you do all the right things on paper that a masculine man should do. Hi, pretty lady. I picked you up at this time. I set the date at this time. I led. I made sure that I was here for you. I can protect and I can provide.
Bought 5 chocolate bars.
And a lot of food, yeah.
Get a smile out of them with a reciprocation of interest. That reciprocation of interest means that they are willing to engage into those dates and into those relationships with you, and it's probably going to be pretty smooth. She is the most human when it comes to how she acts. Okay? Reciprocation of interest.
Wow.
This took a turn.
Do we need to pause on that for a second? This one? Yeah, I guess we could consider her the most human. It's still not even human, but like the most human, comparatively speaking.
What that means is she takes a shit and she acts like it. And she's okay with you knowing that.
Well, hold on. Did we hear him right?
Humans poop. And if she acts like she poops, she human that good.
That's category number 1. You can typically operate here in the safe zone, okay? But just always be aware that this woman is hypergamous too.
Okay.
Oh, we getting another boy?
Boys.
Here we have the only one in the room to not be one of my old editors, Xavier. But he has been on the channel before, so all familiar faces. All right, more men's opinions.
That's what women want.
More men's opinions about a man's opinion
on women, yeah. Just to catch you up to speed, this guy is talking about the female manipulation matrix. Pretty much all he's kind of said right now is there's a difference between hot women and feminine women. And feminine women, they'll hurt you.
Right.
He's hinted that it's like the hot woman you don't trust, but the feminine women you trust, they hurt you. They cheat on you. They DM other boys, and he gets very passionate about that point. So I think
in pain.
Yeah,
Projecting here.
Yeah.
This also took him 4 days.
Yeah.
This whiteboard.
Yes.
And it's been,
This is going to be a good zone for most guys to operate in.
Now, I know a
The
lot of you out
5-5
there,
on the
right?
scale.
You say,
Right.
Well, I want
Women who are hotter. Well, okay. Just understand that you got to know what you're signing up for. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Zone number 2. I call this the 7 and 7. The 7 zone. 7 hot, 7 feminine. She knows that she's attractive, but this woman doesn't carry an ego with it. She doesn't act like she's better than everybody, and she doesn't feel the need to curate a false illusion of femininity just to hide her actually sour attitude that she has.
Oh.
And what she's doing is she will typically operate on a fair game, right? Like if you show her interest and intent, she will show you some interest and intent back. This is the main difference between the 5 and 5 and the 7 and 7. This right here, when she's operating in this zone, she's more hypergamous.
What is this
Okay.
backed by?
What? Can someone... Oh, nothing.
No,
he's been on hundreds of
Is this
dates.
just like-
Oh, he's hundreds of dates that he's been on, yeah.
Right. This is 10 years of experience summarized in 4 days.
What does hypergamy mean? He says it a lot.
I think it's multiple partners.
No,
No.
that's polyamory.
No, not like in relationships.
the action of
A woman of lower social status who marries a man with a higher social status. Essentially, the woman marries up, which increases her overall social status.
Okay.
Using relationships to garner status.
Right.
What that means is she wants to start to actually win you over. When I say she wants to start to win you over, that means this woman right here is attractive enough and feminine enough where she wants to have somewhat of a pursuit or of a chase where she feels as if she has to win that man over. This is also the zone where you're going to notice they'll say things like, I don't want to have to ever pursue a man. If he liked me, he would show it. These are the women who are going to say these things, but this right here is going to be the zone where their actions show the exact opposite. This is going to be your hygienists, your nurses, your baristas.
Oh.
Fairly attractive women who typically fall into this category. You can usually find them with between 1,000 to 3,000 followers on social media. Active dating app life. And these are women that you can actually kind of get to know on a person-to-person level. Let's get into the danger.
Slightly less human, though.
He gets so specific.
Yeah.
Strangely specific. She's a barista and she's got 1,000 to 3,000 followers.
And she's a 7 out of 7.
The danger zone right here is where these women are only dealing with men of status. They're looking at how tall he is, his V-taper. They're looking at how much money he makes, how high his social status is. And most importantly of all, she is looking at how many other women that are also attractive in this category right here between the 7 to 7 and the 10 to 10 also find you attractive. This woman is extremely hypergamous. This woman wants the best bang for her buck that she can get because she knows that she's hot, but she's going to hide that from you. This is going to be so covert. This is going to be so sneaky, you'll never see it.
No, the 10
This has over 100k views.
And every single comment on the video is all positive. We're pretty sure that he deletes comments, which makes me a little nervous for this video. I have a suspicion that there may be...
You're going to get a matrix.
There may be a copyright claim in my future. I will update in the comments down below if it does happen. I'm not sure he likes the criticism. On TikTok, it's hard to find any, what are they called? Duets or whatever.
Yeah.
People reacting to his TikToks. The only place you can find negative talk about him is on Reddit, where I guess he doesn't have control over what people say. So, yeah.
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe this is just sound advice. and people are just like, you know what? He knows what he's talking about.
I want to see you spend 4 days putting a matrix together for him. From what you've learned today.
To 10 zone. This is going to be 10 hot and 10 feminine. When I say 10 feminine, it's going to look like this. See, here's what you have to understand. It's not the woman who's super hot that you have to worry about that's constantly posting that she's hot on social media. This woman doesn't work into your subconscious mind the same way. It's the woman who looks like this. I'll put up 2 pictures right here. It's the woman who you categorize in this category, the wife category, right? 10 hot, 10 feminine.
Okay. I hope they were like AI images and not real women. Because that is awful.
That was a picture of his ex-girlfriend.
Everything perfect, but she operates with an illusion of femininity. You could see this woman and you making food together, going on vacation together, kissing, cuddling, watching a movie. This is a woman where you
don't see yourself doing that with a 5 and 5.
No,
you're not gonna watch a movie. They're too human for movies and cuddling.
I'd like to think this man on a date's got his little checkboard here, like little notepad.
Looking at the Matrix, got some example photos.
Yeah.
I think she's about a 7 and a 9.
Yeah.
This is a woman that you walk through the streets with when you're going to a movie or when you're going to the shopping mall and you feel like a winner. Let me explain this one to you. Now, this one appears to be as loyal as a golden retriever, okay? You're going to tell yourself, I can have a real relationship with this one. The persona that she's going to give off is going to be shy, quiet, to herself, smart, right?
Not really.
Okay.
A weird bit of tension there.
He was looking at someone.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to pause there for a second because you know who you are. Yeah. You know.
Persona, the clothing, what you have to be aware is that everything is an illusion. She's wearing the right things, doing the right things to appear real. You're not going to see fake nails and fake hair typically. You're not going to see lip injections and all that stuff. This woman understands how to give the illusion of natural femininity. Okay? Keep this in mind. Now, with this woman, what you have to understand is the games will start right away. It's usually with the phone. It's usually with time delays. And she's reciprocating interest, but the problem is that it's at such a awkward pace or an unplanned pace, you can't necessarily read her interest level. And you can't necessarily read what she is expecting out of this. So keep in mind.
which is what his advice was for on a date.
Yeah.
You don't want them to know your interest level. It's really bad if a girl does it.
Yeah,
You
but
got
you're-
it. That's a
you're-
no-no.
Yeah, but you can do it.
But you must.
The reason why this is the danger zone is because any care or reciprocation of interest and they are completely gone. This is going to be the woman where you see her for anywhere from 2 to 6 months and things are perfect and you reciprocate her interest level where you think that both of you can now be happy and she's completely gone. And because they're so covert, they're so hidden with their intent, they're so quiet. Okay, here's what I can tell you with this category right here. You damn near have to cheat or have the ability to cheat with women who are at their current level of attractiveness or higher in order for them to really respect you.
What?
What a wild call.
What? Okay, so on the channel where the guy teaches how to get with women, he is giving you the explicit advice that if she's really hot, you must cheat on her for her to respect you.
No, I think that's common sense, right?
You guys didn't know that?
Nothing builds respect more. You're right.
Let's look at the outliers. The outliers are a bit different. The first outlier would be like a 9 or 10 hot, okay, and a 2 feminine. This is going to be the woman that you really would like
That's you,
to
Matt.
be with, maybe for a few dates or something like that, but this is not the type of woman who's able to work into your heart the right way. This isn't the type of woman who she's able to be looked at differently and put into the wife category. So she's going to have a different effect on your subconscious. These types of women who are super hot, they typically really like social media. They'll typically have a lot of followers. They're typically gorgeous, okay? But they're very overt.
They're generally kind of hot.
And what that means is you can see, like, they're typically a bit more masculine, but you won't actually love her. This is where you're going to see the fake hair, the fake nails, the breast augmentations, the fake lashes. This is going to be that category or that zone typically.
I'm confused about what he means by feminine, or like,
Yeah.
he's explained what it means on the high end, but what does it mean on the low end? He's saying that if they're getting their lashes done, then they're
masculine.
They're masculine.
Yeah, that's not feminine at all.
The second layer of the second outlier. The second outlier would be this zone over here. We're talking like maybe a
twist.
Do it again.
These types of women over here, they're going to be all about God. They want a couple kids typically. There's no ego attached. You look at them and you say they'd make a great wife one day, but here's the problem. The problem here is you're going to always wonder if you could get hotter. When they're in this category. This is the second type of outlier. Now, here's what you have to remember, okay? So this woman right here who's a 4 to 6 hot and a 10 plus feminine.
10 plus.
10 hot. Okay, if she happened to be up here, a 10 hot and a 10 feminine, you have to know that she would just act exactly like this woman right here. What are the key takeaways? What am I getting at? Okay, the key notes is this. Women use their looks to get you in the door. Women use their femininity and illusion of innocence to get your heart. And once they have this and you fully love them, they will completely pull back and destroy you.
Oh, he is hurting.
Yeah, he's in pain.
Man needs to start tagging who he's referring to.
Just call him out.
Yeah.
They will destroy you, Jessica.
It doesn't matter if it's 2 months in. It doesn't matter if it's 2 years in. It doesn't matter if it's 20 years in and now she wants a divorce. This right here is going to be something that every man really has to understand, because here's the thing. Men are typically deceived. So based on what's placed in front of you with your eyes, okay, is going to
Little smiley face there.
how you feel about her. And she knows this. She's going to see that you carry yourself with a different perception or a different perspective of her. Keep that in mind. Women use their femininity and illusion of innocence to get your heart. Now, what do you have to do no matter who you're dealing with? You have to act like you're God's gift to earth, or most of them will not respect you.
Yeah. Sound advice.
Honestly, he's following through with his advice. He does. He does give that
He
vibe.
practices what he preaches.
Yeah.
You can't fault him there.
I would even say as far as this, you need to act like you're God's gift from earth, or none of them will respect. You have to remember this. Hypergamy is always watching, and she wants the best that she can get. You need to always position and frame yourself as if it would be a win for her to potentially have the opportunity or the option to be with you. So, key takeaways from this whole video. First and foremost, all of them are attracted to the same things. And that would be men with higher dating value than themselves. Now, all of them are also turned off by the same things. That would be women less hot just end up staying with the guys who do things that turn them off because they aren't beautiful enough to get a more attractive man or to have more attractive options. But just because she's staying with that guy doesn't mean that she's happy.
Is this his first concern about whether she is happy? I don't think that's quite what he's getting at, but it seems like it's the first mention about the woman actually being happy.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like he's just insecure. It's like they always want more. I'm not enough. That's kind of his message I'm hearing. Damaging advice, that is.
Turned off by the exact same things. Over-attachment, you falling in love, and you treating her differently or thinking that she's different. So, femininity is an illusion, okay? Like a wolf in sheep's clothing. So here's what I'm here to tell you. You cannot have a relationship with someone where the more you like them, the less they automatically like you. And this is why men seeking love or men seeking companionship are always burned in the relationship and they always get left because they don't understand a woman's root nature or a female nature for what it is.
It seems a bit like Doomsayer. Like he hasn't actually said any tips for how to actually make it work. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. It is just destined to fail.
Yeah. Women are a monolith, and they will crush you.
Yeah.
The 10 to 10, this is an illusion of femininity. Here's what you have to understand.
He says that a lot.
If you wake up one day and you go to the pet store and you say, I want a pet. But let's say
Good analogy so far.
the pet store is a rattlesnake. That rattlesnake's going to bite you. It doesn't matter how well you treat that rattlesnake will eventually bite you.
Not necessarily.
If I take a golden retriever costume and I put it over top of that rattlesnake, it's still a rattlesnake.
You could have just said the wolf in sheep's clothing that you said before. You didn't need to say a rattlesnake in a golden retriever's clothing.
And that's exactly what femininity is an illusion to weaken you so you lower your guard. This is the official female manipulation matrix. I hope that one day as you get older, you share this with your kids.
How... Father, how are you having kids? Because my relationship is doomed to fail. Like, how am I even getting there? I guess...
Well, because you follow this. You follow all his videos and you will land...
What was the actionable advice, though? It was just that women suck.
This is a warning.
I feel like the advice is maybe turn gay.
Maybe.
That's the next episode, yeah.
Share this with your uncle who's divorced. Share this with your brother. In fact, share this with the whole world. Men need to know and men need to understand this because I'm here to help all of you master some elite level game. And I believe that I teach this better than anybody.
I reckon what he's doing here is he's saying that because he's using his tactics on us. He's telling us that he is God's gift, not just to women, but to us. He is like the Messiah who's come to teach us about women. I think he's trying to appeal to us.
Share his message.
Because he's done his whiteboard calculations and he's figured out that he cannot win with women. It's not going to work. And so now he's trying to sneak under and get the bros on his side because...
So he's manipulating us.
He's manipulating.
So he's being feminine.
Ooh. Anyway, yeah, that was that. That was Casey. That was Professor Casey.
I feel like I learned a lot. I'm going to share this with my kids.
And my dad.
And my divorced
I'm
uncle.
going to share this with your kids.
See you. We'll see you in the next video. Maybe with less men next time.
No, we need more men.
More men.